Let's toss it over to our first presenters regarding the refresh of storage and backup, Mike Chalkwater and Jim Nauer. Mike and Jim, over to you.
Thanks, Tyler. I'm Mike, this is Jim, and we're covering the Storage and Backup Refresh project. So let's take a look at the background. ITS provides network storage and backup services to faculty and staff on a subscription basis. The current system was implemented in 2010. Various components are reaching end of service life, and we no longer have vendor service and support. We're also unable to take advantage of new features and functions available industry-wide. Let's look at the end user environment. There's three parts to this. The first part, network storage, or file storage, commonly known as SysLi. So for example, you have coworkers in your department, you all share files on network storage drive. All the files are accessible to all your coworkers based on the rights that they're given. That's one example. There's also shared storage for applications. So if you use Microsoft Office products, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those files are all shared on the network drive with your group and your coworkers, and you can be in those at any given time. The second part is block storage. What this is database storage, and also storage that's allocated to the virtual machine platform in the data centers. The third part is backup service. Backup service is where network storage files are backed up to protect against data loss, and also the files can be recovered at a later date if need be. So let's take a look at the project's next steps. Our first priority is to install and configure the new backup system by May 13th, which we're on track for doing this Friday. We're also going to migrate the current backups to the new system by the end of June. This will also allow us to age out the backups on the old system. Our second priority later this summer is to install and configure the new file storage system and also implement cloud storage solutions to enhance the new backup system capacity. Now let's look at an illustration of how the backup system works, currently and in the future. So Jim, can you walk us through a little bit about...
Sure. The current backup environment is designed around the campus network. So on the left you can see we have a series of backup clients, and these are usually servers in the data center or that shared file storage environment called SysLi that Mike mentioned. All of those servers and storage systems back up through the campus network to a local on-campus backup server that has its own storage, and those files can be restored at any time before they expire out or age out from the system. The new system in concept will be essentially identical. We're just updating to new hardware and a new generation of software based on the same technology that we had before, but more current versions. The big addition, which you can see on the right, is that we are going to use what's known as the cloud, in this case Amazon's S3 storage, to expand the capacity of the backup system without having to buy a much larger, more expensive on-campus system. That system will be essentially invisible to end users. The backups will still happen to the on-campus backup server, and restores will still come from the on-campus server, except for old data that has been moved off to the remote storage at Amazon. Those files, if we need to restore them, will be restored directly over Internet 2 back to the on-campus systems.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, so we're at a point we can open up for any questions to the audience.
Thanks, Mike and John, for that update. One question came in. While migrating the backups in the new system, do end users have to do anything differently?
Well, the backup upgrade will be fairly simple. It's a standard software installation process. We just need to install a new version of the same software that we've been using for the last 4 or 5 years, and update the backup client to point to a different server name. So, and this is not a disruptive process to server production, so there won't be any outages required for it. It's just a matter of the system administrator taking time to install the new software.
Awesome. Thank you, Jim. And what files are backed up to the backup server, and will those computer files that end users have, will those be backed up as well?
Well, this backup system, there are multiple backup systems in use on campus. This one is specifically for servers. So this will not affect files that exist on a user's personal laptop or desktop computer. This would be files on a server like Sicily, which is shared amongst a large number of people on campus, or departmental servers that you may have, application servers. This system affects those files. Other services such as Carbonite or CrashPlan that you may be using for personal machines will not be affected by this.
Great. Thank you, Jim. And that's it from our folks over with the Storage and Backup Refresh project.